Hello everyone, this is Sal TV. You are watching Salamancer Cast, another 6v6. This one between Team Bad V2 and the RX Pharmacy on Gullywash. This was the last match of the season for Team Bad V2, so we'll have to see if they had their heart in it. They did have a good record going in, but so far looking like some very good aggression coming down from Team Bad. They are in the red, RX is in the blue right now. Now, both teams have lost a couple people, and it looks like both medics go down. Only two left remaining. It's a Scout Soldier versus Scout Soldier. Interesting little duo, but it looks like RX Pharmacy actually just going to clean up on the midpoint. So, wow. Excellent. We're already getting the competitive binds walking out here, and of course Francis says, wait a minute, I shouldn't be saying that because turns out we actually lost that mid-fight. Oh well, I have that bound to volume up on my keyboard. Great stuff. So, yeah, just some mistaken binds there. We've got a little bit of pushing out by Team Bad right now. They're saying, okay, we could probably contest this because the enemy doesn't have their medic right walked up in position yet. So good job of them actually to turn this around and push back out and just say, no, you know what, we've got this. We've got this. Bam! Huge pick there by Francis on top of Cranberry. Beat is now down. RX is running a Pyro, so I'm not sure how seriously they may be taking this game. That was kind of interesting. Overseer here having to run back and probably going to die. That was not very good medic positioning there. So maybe a pretty short round if one or both teams are not paying that much attention. But let's go over the rosters. We've got a little bit of time here. Team Bad running Zhao and D-Chow on the Scouts, and they are outscoring everybody right now, but then the medic just pops back up. Max on the medic, Hero and Francis on the Soldiers, and Catastrophe on the Demo Man. D-Chow actually walking in here for a back cap as soon as RX walks out and tries to... Or as soon as Team Bad, I should say, caps second if RX is up there trying to defend. And yeah, it looks like RX has already lost. Overseer once again. Now the roster, of course, for RX, it can be Beat and ON on Scout right now, or 1. I guess we'll just call him 1. Cranberry on the Demo Man. Their medic is Overseer, and their two soldiers are supposed to be Ricky and Fancy Pants, but right now they're running one of their soldiers as a Pyro full-time, so this might be a little bit of a silly game. Just saying. We've already got first cap going to Team Bad pretty easily there. It looks like they weren't trying all that hard. Still managed to get in and cap it, but nonetheless, let's check out the rollouts here once again, this time for the RX Pharmacy. Well, maybe not. Depends on who we get here first. Catastrophe. We're going to watch which way he rolls out. And he's going to the right. It's not a way you see Demo Men go that often. It's going to be very, very, very aggressive. So, now going into this season here, Team Bad was at 13-2, whereas RX was at 9-5. So you can see that the win percentage there for Team Bad significantly higher. And that's going to tell you a little bit about the skill of these teams. But, of course, everything can go south at a mid-fight if you're not careful. And looks like RX has managed to get quite a lot of kills here, but at the expense of a lot of death as well. Their medic was not able to heal anybody, and so all the kills came at the expense of pretty much all of their players. Only 1 and Overseer are left right now, but at least they've preserved the Uber this time around. Team Bad did not preserve the Uber, and looks like their medic just wanted to get a forward spawn there. We've got Zhao and D-Chow both running around the side here, going to go help cap the point. Actually, where's D-Chow? D-Chow's standing inside. He wanted to see if there was going to be any sort of flanking action, but there wasn't. Nonetheless, good positioning there by the Scout just to see if they did something silly and walked out. He could have gotten a big pick there on like a Demo Man or a Soldier or something. And now he's just pushing into the last. We've got Fancy Pants for the defense on Pyro. And what else do they have? Looks like pretty much everybody else is on their regular classes. So 2 Scouts and a Pyro on defense is not really something you see every day on defense. And normally I would expect to see some kind of weird off-classing coming from Team Bad because they've done some really creative stuff like the double mini-sentry defense. If you haven't seen that, be sure to check it out on X Television because they, on Gravelpit, defended successfully with double mini-sentries. It was pretty insane to watch. I highly recommend that game. Me and Duder cast that together. We've got, looks like the Uber is finally ready for Team Bad, so they are going to walk in pretty soon, but they want to kill more than just a Scout. I think, though, that because of the class mixture on defense that Blue has right now, they would be fine pushing in with just about anything at this point. They're getting a lot of people overhealed at the moment. Where is their medic? Cranberry actually hanging around down below, so he wants to just, I think he just wants to walk in after the Ubers are pushed. No, I'm sorry, he's on defense, but he is doing a good job of sticky trapping and making sure nothing comes down here. D-Chow took a lot of damage, but it looks like that's what they want to do there. They're playing conservatively. I like their style. They're just saying, okay, well, no reason for us to go in there and wipe, even though the enemy has two Scouts likely. Now they're actually up to 1 Scout and 1 Heavy. So better defensive choice there. To be perfectly honest, the Heavy is going to be much better on defense. But what Red's trying to do right now is they just want to get that sniper in there and try to get a kill if they can. Turns out a well-placed rocket followed by a well-placed scout just said, "D-chow, no, get out of there." Beat did go down, but he was only a scout, so all the heavy classes for the RX Pharmacy are still up, including that Pyro, which is just going to be death to any sort of Uber that tries to come in. You can air blast him right back out, and may even get Ubered in turn. That's always fun to see an Uber Pyro. You just don't see that enough in 6v6, I think. But yeah, Team Bad is now going Spy. D-chow is going to walk in as the Spy. He is disguised right now, but he's probably going to want to cloak up. Doesn't want to take any spam here, so here he goes, cloaks up, and manages to walk through without taking a rocket. That's what he needed to do. So going to get up here, oh, so close, but he is going to go for this medic pick. He's decloaking just a little bit close here. Oh, I think he gets spotted. Picked off the Pyro, though, and so he at least got a pick. That's what they need. Now Team Bad can push in without fear of that Pyro air blasting them backwards, and now they've lost 2 players. The RX Pharmacy is going to have a lot of difficulty. Look how long Red Team held on to that Uber. That was insane. They just held it as long as possible because they just weren't taking any damage. Now the Uber's finally counter-popped for the RX Pharmacy. Doing a good job of defense here, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Now the Pyro comes back out again, actually. Really, really good job there. Getting a lot of damage put down, but it's not quite enough. Only 2 men left up, Francis and Catastrophe, and they managed to capture the point. So, well done to Team Bad here, going 2-0 so far. The RX Pharmacy is complaining a little bit about lag, but you know, sometimes you just get laggy servers on ESEA. What can you do except petition for a new one? Obviously, they didn't do that in this game because this STV demo was the completed match. So that's what they got. Now the mid-fight coming down here, looks like Red Team is taking a very aggressive move here and pushed their combo up through the right. That is, of course, their Medic Soldier combo. Pushing through the right there doesn't give you a lot of avenues for retreat. If you try to retreat through here, of course, you can get very, very easily flanked and captured. You can get rocket jumped all over the place. So it's an aggressive move, but of course, if you can get up there and secure the position, then you stop your enemy from being able to take the high ground at all. Like you saw that they were walking through here. If they wanted their medic to walk up to the high ground, he would have had to walk up through this corridor. So they did successfully hold that high ground. The RX Pharmacy had to fall back. They've kept their medic alive, but now Team Bad is capping second. And Catastrophe here, once he reloads, he's going to start trying to spam up through that window there. And actually a good jump up here by, looks like probably the roaming soldier there, Francis. I want to say he's the roamer, but maybe not. But yeah, it looks like he is the roaming soldier, and he's going to walk up here and just say, all right, this area is mine now. You cannot have it unless you have sticky traps, and then maybe you can. But turns out they don't. So, no, I think Francis is actually the pocket. So I could be wrong. Nonetheless, good effective use of aggression there to just pick up all the areas that they need and force RX Pharmacy to play a pretty standard game, walk back, defend, use the Pyro and Sniper on defense. So I like that sort of style, but they've still got a scout here, and the scout really is going to provide them some mobility to push out. If Team Bad walks in, tries to attack, loses all their players, that scout will be able to very quickly run for a back cap. He can also run around to the flanks if Team Bad doesn't watch their flanks very well, so we'll have to see whether they do. They do have the Uber right now, but they are waiting on D-chow to get a pick. One here is doing some counter-sniping of his own. He's doing a very good job of checking all the different entrances that the sniper could be checking. Beat, though, does go down, gets taken out by Jiao. Now sniper battle goes on. Of course, you're going to see these snipers jump as soon as they take a shot. That just makes them less likely to get headshot in return. Catastrophe is down right now, so we're probably not going to see RX, or we're not going to see Team Bad pushing anytime soon. No, it turns out there's an Uber Pyro coming in here, and finally the Uber is counter-popped for Team Bad. Interesting move. What happened there was RX pushed out with their Pyro to see if they couldn't either get a flank on the enemy medic and kill him, or just make him pop Uber. The problem with doing that, of course, is that they may have left their point a little bit undefended. They lost a couple players. Now they've only got a medic and a Pyro left alive. Good Uber saws here, though. Does manage to get himself maybe like 50% Uber there for Overseer, so he's going to have a huge advantage. I wonder if they're going to try to push this again and maybe kill Max. We will have to see what happens. Team Bad is down 2 players right now, but they will get in position very quickly, and we are seeing, of course, that the RX Pharmacy is going to have to play very, very defensively here. Of course, if they try to push out too hard, they could just end up falling victim to a back cap, and nobody likes back caps, except, of course, the guy who gets the cap, and then he's just like, I am a boss. Yeah, once again, looks like an Uber may have been popped. No. Yeah, RX Pharmacy popping the Uber. I'm sorry, I thought maybe I'm sorry, I'm just getting confused. Anyway, they do manage to kill Max with that Uber. So they knew they had the timing there, but look at this, very, very, very close to a back cap. It's exactly why pushing out can be such a bad idea. They got the kill on the medic, and they're probably going to send at least one person out. There you go, Hero is now down, so everybody on Team Bad is down right now. That was a just a little bit of a failure from them. But yeah, that's one of the pitfalls, of course, of trying to push out when you don't have a significant advantage. Of course, you can get just back capped right away. Now, it didn't quite happen. I think RX Pharmacy managed to do a good job of holding on to that back cap, but you know, they did have to be very careful while they were doing it. So they took a gamble. The gamble really paid off. Team Bad was just not expecting that. That was the thing, is that they were not expecting to have that Uber Pyro run out as soon as the Uber was ready. And so they really probably should have been, considering the Uber disadvantage they had. They should have played a little bit more conservatively until they had the 100% set up again. Now that's what they're doing. They know they have a little bit of a disadvantage here because Max died to the Uber, so he's trying to build up now. They're playing very far back. They're actually giving up mid, and they kind of had to. They didn't have an Uber ready to go. They knew their enemies just about did, so they gave up the midpoint. What they want is to have RX push in here, and RX's push to fail. But we will have to see. So far, RX is actually doing a good job of setting up their offense here. Pushing the Pyro all the way out to mid, too. That's interesting to see. And it may just be a reflection of the fact that RX Pharmacy doesn't care as much about this game as they might about a normal one. You know, in a normal game, they're really going to want that Pyro to be on Soldier instead of being on Pyro. But nonetheless, it's an interesting play to see. Now, the Uber does come down here for the Demo Man, running the normal flamethrower, so he's going to be dealing more afterburn damage, but of course you can't switch weapons to the extinguisher as quickly. Lots and lots of stuff going on right now. Team Bad is doing a good job of winning that Uber fight, but now they're having a problem with a back cap. Looks like they've taken it out, but not before Max goes down to Cranberry. And Cranberry, of course, the Demo Man here, doing some huge work before Hero finally takes him out. So they are, once again, I think Team Bad is going to be able to cap mid, but they're still getting harassed here from the blue team. Sorry, I can't find where the harassment is coming from half the time. But yeah, they're just taking a lot of harassment here from blue. The RX Pharmacy doing a good job of harassment, and Max is going to have an Uber disadvantage because he hasn't been healing anybody for a while. I don't know if Overseer is going to be aware of that, though. So we're going to have to see what happens. Ricky here doing a good job of just staying in a position where he can deal a lot of spam and then back off whenever necessary. He is, of course, going to be the roaming soldier for RX. And did I go down their rosters? I'm not sure if I did, actually. Oh, no, yeah, I did. Duh. Okay, yeah, so Ricky just being the roamer, watching the flanks, doesn't actually take any damage from that sniper, so well done to him on a good dodge, and just fires those rockets in there to try to hit the sniper. Both scouts here now as well. That's very standard to see the scouts and the roamer watching the flanks while the core kind of watches the main entrance. And while they initially had the disadvantage, actually I think Max has been building this Uber so aggressively, healing his hurt soldier repeatedly, that they now have an advantage. They can now afford to just walk a little bit farther forward here, and that's what they're going to do. We're going to see a little bit of a slow play, slow push here by Team Bad V2, but Team Bad is anything but bad, guys. They've been doing a very good job this season. Of course, I already said their record up to this point is 13-2, so extremely good job by Team Bad this season, and going into the playoffs, I'm going to love to watch them. Hopefully I get to cast all the playoffs because I'm going to be in California next week, so I won't have access to a good net connection, but nonetheless, I think they've moved the playoffs back a week, so that's actually really good for me, even if it's kind of bad for the rest of the teams because they don't get to play TF2 and it's bad for you, the viewer. At least I get to cast them with X Television. Interesting spot for a sniper here. D-Chow is, of course, a pretty good sniper, but I don't think anybody on RX is actually going to push out this way. If they do, of course, they will probably get headshot, which would not be fun, and that is a fully charged headshot. Fully charged headshot, of course, does 450 damage, enough to take out just about anything in the game, short of an overhealed heavy who is holding out his fists of steel. Otherwise, you will kill just about everything with that fully charged headshot. So that's what he wanted to do. Just not going to happen, though, and interesting position there by the Demo Man. So he just hopped off, tried to spam some of those in, and he did deal a little bit of damage. Not a lot, but of course it's just enough to kind of harass Team Bad and say, no, you can't have this area yet. They are still all up, so we just have to see who decides to be aggressive here first. Good reflect there by our Pyro, Fancy Pants. So with what they lack in soldiering, they've made up for in air blasting. I like to see actually the Pyro here used as a just as a core class for 6v6. The problem, of course, is that he can't really do a good job of pocketing the medic by himself because a Pyro has to get very close to an enemy to deal good effective damage. But we do see the combination of the Pyro, the Demo, and one of the scouts right now, and that's really enough to make this a good core. I mean, you're going to have good protection for your medic, especially spam protection. I mean, that pyro will be able to reflect a lot of it and air blast stickies out of the way. So good protection for your medic, and then you've got the high damage dealing potential of the demo man sitting right next to him. And of course, if a scout were to run in and try to attack the demo, pyros aren't great at defending against scouts, but that's why they have the scout here. So I kind of like it. Problem is, they just sent one in to try and attack, and he basically just died. Now Jiao is down as well, and Francis has died. Both the Ubers are popped. The Uber is popped on the Pyro here for Team Blue. So RX Pharmacy here with the Pyro Uber once again, and it looks like he's actually going to get the kill this time. Did he have the flare gun out there? I'm not sure what he had. Yeah, it looks like he does have the flare gun, so flare kill there on Catastrophe, and this has been catastrophic for Team Bad, losing everybody. Look at those flare kills from Fancy Pants. This is some pro Pyro play we are seeing right here. Excellent stuff. Fancy Pants really leading the charge here, and with that Uber, of course, he was able to get right into the enemy, and just Team Bad didn't know how to respond. They just said, wait, what do we do? There's an Uber. It's a Pyro. Can we stay here? Well, no, you can't, because he is going to flare gun the crap out of you. Fancy Pants here trying to see if the enemy that was caught in spawn is going to stay in spawn, but of course he is not there anymore. He has gone back to last because Team Bad V2 now is going to be defending their last point. D-Chow is going to try to set up some kind of a sentry right there on that little area, but it goes down. I think he just decided he didn't like the position, so he just said, yeah, screw it, we'll find a better spot. Where is your heavy? Your heavy's standing back here. This is not the optimal position for a heavy because, of course, if he stands up on this little lip above the point right there, that's really where he wants to be. He won't take any damage that way from the from rockets that just whiz by him. They'll end up hitting that last bit on the back wall, and the splash is too far away. So that's where you really want the heavy to be standing. But nonetheless, we got an Uber coming in, Ubering the Pyro once again. He deals a lot of damage with that reflect, and so everybody on fire right now. He does manage to take out, looks like the sentry gun that was building by D-Chow there. Good counter Uber though. Looks like he got air shot there by the demo man. Fancy Pants going down to a pill air shot. Nonetheless, Team Bad here having a really tough time on defense. They're managing to take out everybody with a lot of damage gone down. Where is one right now? That is the question. Can one get in here and back cap? Looks like he may want to run in and try it, but that just may not be enough. Of course, there's 4 members up of Team Bad right now, and they're going to be watching that point like hawks. So one here, though, doing a lot of good damage to this scout. D-Chow may go down in the scout battle. He does. So that just means Team Bad is missing 1 player here on defense. But the RX Pharmacy does not have everybody in position yet. They are running a sniper now alongside their Pyro, but still running the Pyro as a core class. Now, the Pyro just does not have the mobility and versatility that a soldier does. But with that excellent pick there by Beat, the sniper, it looks like without a soldier, the RX Pharmacy may want to try to push in now. They're not doing it. Okay. The reason they're not pushing in, they're actually playing really far back, and this is a smart thing from them, is that they don't have the Uber advantage. And since they don't have the Uber advantage, of course, they can't push in. Max kept his Uber, but Max actually oh no! They tried to push out. Max tried to push out with that Uber just like the RX Pharmacy did, and of course, what do we say about that? If you try to push out with an Uber, even if you have a good Uber advantage, if you have a team player advantage, if you just get that one little back cap coming in, that's the round for you. So that's why when teams are on defense for so long, they have to stay on defense. So well done by the back cap on the RX Pharmacy. It is now 1-2, and we're going to have to see. It looks like RX ran 2 soldiers to mid. That is probably the right choice because that gives them the mobility they need. But look at that. Look how many people just died there right away. Overseer is still alive, but he may get chased down here very quickly. Beat here doing a good job of harassment, and Hero does go down, and so does Max, but with only Ricky and Beat left alive here. Wow, this is getting incredibly close. Now Team Bad running a Pyro of their own. This is incredible stuff here, guys. I do love seeing the Pyro. It's going to be Pyro against Pyro. Fancy Pants and Francis both running Pyro, so they've both gone down a soldier, up a Pyro. This is some crazy stuff, guys. No, Francis finally changed out. Now he has switched over to soldier to get a forward spawn. So there they go, playing back to some more normal stuff. But to be honest, guys, I really do expect, maybe not on 5CP maps like this so much because you just kind of have to play them standard. They're all about the deathmatch. But I do expect to see a lot of like off-classing and just creative strategies from Team Bad. They did do some creative stuff on Gravelpit, and I would love to see more of it out of them. Nonetheless, they're doing what works right now. So far, they're up 2-1. They have to figure out how to deal with this Pyro from RX Pharmacy if they want to come back and make this like a 5-1 game, or if they want to win it at all. Because at this point, RX could actually push back in with his Pyro, Uber him again, and just blast Team Bad all over the place with an Uber Pyro, just scatter them to the winds, and then have their scouts and their roaming soldier come in and clean up. Now, Beat does go down, though. That gives a player advantage here to Team Bad. So they're going to push in. They're going to say, okay, we want the second point here because we do have one player up. It's going to be 5 against 6. The only thing is now it's 4 against 5, of course, but now the RX Pharmacy had just had a bit of a positioning advantage there up on top of the point. They do manage to force the pop out there from Team Bad, but now they know that they are the only 2 left alive out here, so they have to fall back to last. That's what they're doing. Good decision making there by the RX Pharmacy, saying, okay, we don't want to lose our medic here, just trying to wait out the Uber. One here going the spy using the cloak and dagger, so he is going to stay cloaked until the very moment that he wants to strike. There he goes. He is going to try and take out that soldier right now, but it looks like there may already be an attack going into last. He may just be too late here because it looks like our medic here for RX doesn't have anybody to heal. The spy finally comes in here and he's going to try and is he going to even stop the cap? He doesn't stop the cap! He was disguised, so of course if he's disguised standing on the point, he's not going to stop the cap. Oh, that was just no fun at all, guys. So we've got halftime here. Hopefully halftime doesn't last too long, but if it does, we will just cut it out of the video. Everybody's readying up, though. I think they are all just about ready to play. No need to have such a terribly long halftime, so we can talk about that a little bit. I like seeing the Pyro play, and it looks like the second half may start very soon, but the Pyro play coming out of RX has been interesting to say the least. Ubering him out against the enemy has been good. It's just that that last Uber there at the end, the only person that they had there to really deal the damage was the Pyro. So he can scatter the enemy team around all he wants and try and pick the medic and put him in like a bad position. But then, if the enemy medic has an Uber, or if the enemies are just like aware of that Pyro's existence and you don't have anybody else to help clean them up, what are you going to do? Nothing, basically, is what happened. They just had to back out. So they need to do a better job of keeping the rest of their team alive while they have this Pyro going on and while they have the Pyro pushing in. Because otherwise, of course, if you're just pushing in with the Pyro, you're not going to do a lot. Not usually. Wow, waiting on a member here to be ready, so I'm probably going to cut this out of the video. So, second half starting now for Team Bad versus the RX Pharmacy. They have, of course, switched colors. We are watching Team Bad in the blue versus RX in red. Team Bad, of course, as it says right there in the corner, is leading 3-1. So, we're going to have to see whether RX can pull it back in the second half. Both of them running vanilla loadouts to the or at least vanilla player class choices to the mid. The difference, of course, here is it's some very, very aggressive play by red team to take this area. Oh, wow, though. Huge pick. Hero there got the medic. Now, I don't like where Max is. Max in a very, very bad location here. He's going to have to run his tail end off just to get away and preserve the Uber, but he does have an Uber advantage right now, so if he can run back and not die, that is, of course, the key. Looks like he's going to be okay. His soldier is up now, so Francis, I think, is his pocket. He's going to be okay to walk out and get on the high ground to try and mount a defense of their second point. With the Uber, they shouldn't really have a problem, but of course, they want to hold on to the Uber as long as possible. Just having it, the very fact that they have an Uber and RX does not, means RX has to play conservatively, or else run in here and try to make the enemy pop it. But if they fail, of course, now they're in a position where they're like down 2 players. One here trying to get a good flank. Problem is, of course, now they're down 3 players. Going for those flanks causes the problem where, you know, if you fail, you're just losing players left and right. And, of course, no Uber yet for RX Pharmacy. So, well done there on the Uber by Team Bad. They've managed to push back, capture mid, and they're even pushing on to second here. I don't think that RX Pharmacy can defend it, despite the fact that they should have an Uber advantage. They do, but it's only about 20%. Now, Team Bad isn't going to know that, but they do see how defensively RX Pharmacy is playing right now. They were just down in players. They are not able to push out. So Team Bad here capping really, really quickly, despite the fact they have a slight disadvantage in Uber. And that means that RX Pharmacy is going to have to stand back and defend their last point. So that Uber advantage is basically null and void unless they decide to walk out with a Pyro again. We're going to have to see. I doubt it, but you never know. Let's find... it's like Fancy Pants does want to walk out here. He's just trying to reflect a little bit of rocket spam, though. Maybe deal some fire damage while they wait. There we go. The Uber is now ready for Team Bad V2, so they're going to push in. Max going to probably Uber one of his soldiers in to get that mobility. Of course, the soldier's immediately going to try to rocket jump on top of the medic and make their enemy medic pop. Here they go. In fact, he walked in there without an Uber and made the enemy medic pop first. That is huge. that means that the Uber advantage, despite the fact that Hero is dead, the Uber advantage goes to Team Bad V2. They can push in whenever they want. They can wait for Hero to come back up, or they can just try to get some kills and push in right now with an Uber. We're going to see what they do, but looks like they're taking the conservative route. They're saying, okay, we're going to wait for Hero to come back up. We'll have all 6 push in. We're still going to have the Uber advantage. Now a Heavy finally coming out for RX Pharmacy. They say, okay, well now we don't have an advantage, and we've got to do something to deal a lot of damage here. So here we go. Team Bad is all up. They're pushing in. They're doing a lot of damage. They Ubered their Demo Man in first because he's going to deal the most damage to that point. Looks like Demo Man does go down, and this push may be failing for them. RX Pharmacy taking a lot of damage, but wipes out Team Bad. So they are going to push right back out to second, guys, in a very, very amazingly well done defense without the Uber. I just think that Team Bad did not put enough damage out there. And you see how this capture point works while we wait. You can capture it standing either on the low ground or the high ground, as long as you're within that little yellow and black caution strip area. That is the capture zone. So a lot of like multi-level, multi-tier capture zones on Gullywash. Fun to watch for that reason, that you can get some edging of the point going on. And we do have, once again, the Pyro out. This time, Fancy Pants running the back burner, so he's not going to be air blasting very much. Good sticky trap there. Catastrophe ended up taking out Cranberry, and now D-Chow's gotten a headshot on Beat as well. RX Pharmacy is down by 2 players, but they do have the Uber advantage, so if Team Bad were to push in here, here they go, pushing in, trying to deal damage, trying to make that Uber pop. Now, RX Pharmacy did walk back out, so they kept the Uber, but the problem is they lost a couple players in the process, and now they have to go right back to defending last, which I don't know if that was the right decision. They could have popped the Uber and tried to go for Max, but maybe they felt that was too risky, so, you know, probably not bad decision making on their part. D-Chow here trying to go for the headshot. See, if he can get a pick, that of course means that blue team can push in and make an attempt for last. Good dodge there, actually. He jumped that rocket at the last second. Otherwise, he would have ended up dying and slowing down this push quite a bit. But in the second half, it is still 3-1 right now between Team Bad V2 and the RX Pharmacy. Good spy work there, though, by 1. Takes out D-Chow, and D-Chow can't be happy about that. So that may actually make Team Bad play a little bit more defensively here. They're going to fall back just a little bit. They don't have the ability to get those instant kills from the sniper. And my voice is starting to run out because I actually cast that amazing Gravelpit game earlier between a Tin Team and the Team Bent, so that was always fun. Check that one out as well, of course. But now looks like we finally got all 6 members up once again for Team Bad, and they're still running the sniper, so they still want to get that kill before they push in. They don't want to push in, I don't think, yet. Looks like 1 has gone down now, and with the sniper down, of course, it's 5 against 6. They know that, so they're pushing in. Uber's counter popped right here by red, so of course the Uber was popped first on blue. And looks like our Pyro here may still be running the back burner. Yes, he is. And oh no, don't turn your back to a back burner, man. Good reflect there. Managed to kill Max with the reflect, but now Team Bad has 5 up. There are stickies on the point, so well done there, but it just wasn't enough. Of course, when you're trapped trying to defend that point by standing on it, you can get spammed so easily. So Catastrophe there just did huge damage with his pills. It is now 4-1 in favor of Team Bad against the RX Pharmacy. So Team Bad showing us just some good dominant aggression right now. The RX Pharmacy, even though they've had some Uber advantages, they've just been losing players here and there, so maybe the DM skills of Team Bad are just better. But yeah, they've here in ESEA Open Division, I mean, anything can happen, but it looks like Team Bad has just been playing dominantly. Now here's what happens, of course. Looks like the very, very aggressive push out here by Red. Problem is they can get pinched off here and stuck in this little corner if they're not careful, and that's what's happening. Now they actually took a lot of damage there, but Overseer is just fine, and the only person left alive right now for blue team is D-Chow. The capture is going down for RX Pharmacy. They're going to have mid. They're probably going to end up having second as well, and they're going to have an Uber advantage pushing into last unless Team Bad can get out there and force the Uber early from the RX Pharmacy. I wouldn't put it past them, though. They are going to get a kill on this sniper right now. D-Chow doing a very good job of watching that, just picking off the lone sniper. Now, Team Bad is, of course, starting to lose a capture point. Actually, D-Chow, this is why he was there. He was actually really far behind enemy lines. So that's why he managed to get that sniper kill. But here's the question. Can he end up being useful to his team while he's this far back? And the answer is no. He does some damage, but he goes down, and Fancy Pants is going to be just fine on that Pyro. So getting healed right back up. Now, the Uber hasn't come in yet. So D-Chow did a good work delaying that just a little bit. I think the Uber is going to come in now, but the problem is Oh no, 2 members down for Team Bad, so I was going to say they're going to have the Uber, but with of course missing 2 members, that's not good for them at all. They're going to have their work cut out for them, got to deal a lot of damage really fast, and I don't think it's going to happen. I think RX is probably going to have this. All 6 players still up. Finally they lose 1, they lose 2 there. Team Bad now 4 up again. They've actually had a respawn wave. Oh my gosh, so close. Good way to bait them onto that point and then sticky it up. So wow, and then of course the scouts managed to clean up after all that damage came in from Catastrophe's stickies. That was going to be a cap, but at the last second, I think it was either D-Chow or Zhao, one of the scouts, walked onto the point to stop it from getting capped there. And here we go. Team Bad actually really aggressively pushing out here. They could have almost gotten headshot and still could, but now the sniper going down. It looks like he got actually air shot there by Hero. So Hero with an amazing little air shot there from an air strafing sniper of Beat. And they've sent Hero back to defend last because, of course, it looks like they aren't going to be able to capture it after all. They're having to walk back and defend once again. So Team Bad here on the defensive. It is 4-1, however. So RX has their work cut out for them. Not only do they have to capture this, but they have to get 3 more caps here in the remaining time to win this game. They could, of course, tie it up 4-4, but nobody wants to see a tie game, right? Got to see a team win. Team Bad running right now a pretty standard defensive setup of a sniper to counteract the sniper that they think that RX is running, and of course they are. And they're also running a heavy, so they're running no scouts right now. They've got a lot of heavy classes out there, a lot of HP to chew through for when RX tries to push in. They've also got D-Chow. Thing is, Beat just managed to headshot D-Chow, so that's probably going to mean that RX is going to push in as soon as they have Uber. They've got a player advantage. But look at this, trying to hold on to that Uber. Oh no, okay, they Ubered the Pyro once again, so they're keeping that medic from being able to Uber everybody else, but they're not dealing a heck of a lot of damage here with this Uber. They're having to back out. They tried. The problem was that they didn't Uber Cranberry at all. They just kept it on the Pyro, which is kind of weird. Oh, nice by Beat. Good pick there, and once again, he's trying to stop whatever he can. Fancy Pants running in here. Can he end up capturing this? Amazing work so far. He just can't get those kills. Could not get close enough to deal the damage. The medic was healing up all the damage that he did. He was even getting some good reflects there. It didn't matter, though. Team Bad managed to hold off and kill him despite that. So, well done trying to push in there. The problem was it just wasn't enough. And now RX is actually almost pushing in one at a time, and that, of course, means that they are going to lose a lot of players in sort of like a 6v1 situation. I always say that you probably shouldn't take a 6v1. You probably just want to take a 6v6. That's probably how you should play 6v6 anyway. At least that's the name of the game. So now Team RX Pharmacy is once again losing some ground here, and it looks like Team Bad may be able to push out to the second point. They are indeed. Hero's going to take the high ground away from this soldier. If he can, actually damages himself there a little bit, gets away from that health kit, but he took it away from his opponent, so good spam here coming in. But wow, yeah, our member of RX here, who is this? This is Ricky, who I think is actually the Pocket, right? I don't remember. He may be the roaming soldier. Dealing some really good damage here. Does manage to go down without getting a kill, though. I always say manage too. That's kind of a little quirk of mine, I guess. I got to work on that. Team Bad pushing out to the midpoint now, where they were in a very tenuous defensive position. But RX, I mean, it was really RX's game to lose at that point. They did not manage to get the capture. Good kill on Hero, though. Looks like an Uber came in. Wow, nice dodging there by Max. Max just said, you know what, I'm going to hide from him around this little midpoint and then get right away. So the Uber is faded. Max did not die, even though he really, by rights, he probably should have. And now, Medic v Medic, but the problem is Max has already gone down. Now there's a scout on top of Overseer. Overseer not down yet, so Overseer staying up. Going to be able to build that Uber up just a little bit higher if he doesn't go down to this scout here. Zhao looking like he still wants to get that kill, and now one going after him. So yeah, Zhao got that kill on Overseer. Catastrophe killed Beat right before one killed him. So lots and lots of brutality going on at the mid here. This has just been insane so far. Max once again going to have the Uber advantage, and that means of course they will get to make their players invincible just that little bit earlier. It gives them the ability to be more aggressive. Beat kind of complaining here. There's a little bit of lag that Zhao may be having. I guess they on their end they're seeing him warp, but on their STV demo I'm not really seeing that so much. I don't know. What they see, of course, matters to them in terms of trying to aim at him. Good jumps here, very, very aggressive. Both the soldiers jumping in, trying to get the enemy to pop their Uber. Of course, they don't have one, just trying to get some kills, I guess, at this point. And they do. They managed to kill one and beat both the scouts. Of course, one of them was on Sniper, but both of the utility classes for RX Pharmacy are down right now. They're having to fall back with all their heavies to their last. And is this going to be the end? I mean, of course, these are only played to 5, so this could be the last hurrah here for RX if they're not careful. They do manage to take out Zhao. Good kill. D Chow is going to walk in here now, and it's so hard to say those names because they're so similar. And if I were just to try to pronounce D Chow as Chow, then you guys would not even know what I was saying. The Uber comes in, though, already. It's faded for Team Bad. They had the advantage. They tried to press it, and it looks like they still can. They're getting lots of kills. Catastrophe goes down, but Fancy Pants beat and 1 are dead as well. The Uber Saw kill finishes off Ricky right there. So Max with an Uber Saw kill to win the game. That is it, guys, for Team Bad V2 versus RX Pharmacy. It was 5-1 for Team Bad V2, and that was their last game of the season. So that puts them up to 13-2. And guys, just so you know, the record of RX Pharmacy, they did have one more game after this, and they won it. So it was 9-5. I'm probably not going to cast that one, but. So it was 9-5, I'm sorry, for RX for their season. So this has been Salamancer. Hit that subscribe button if you like what you see, if you love that competitive TF2. Tell everybody to come check it out, check the channel out, and build up the TF2 competitive viewership and gamer community. This has been Salamancer signing out.